Okay guys, I am officially in the market for a new recording program. Dumped my data again. Now I think I found a long-term solution to it, but it doesn't change the fact that whenever the program runs out of space to save the data, it just dumps everything rather than let me save what I've got. So I'm kind of getting tired of it. And unfortunately, since this isn't the first mission, I can't really start over, so I'm just going to have to tell you guys what happened and we'll pick off from there. Started off in this room. There was a stationary guard here who was guarding the wall. So after I found that out, I had Prism sneak in, pickpocket the guy, hack the console with some energy. There was a guard around here or so, and he was just covering way too much of the room. It just wasn't really plausible to leave him conscious. I might have been able to do it by sneaking behind enough of the furniture, but it wouldn't have been easy and not worth the effort, so I had Rush stun him, and then I had Prism drag him behind this door, so he's sitting right here now, and there is a shock trap on that door. So if he wakes up and decides to look for me in this room rather than in this room, he's going down. Other than that, I've also hacked this security drone, which I'm going to go ahead and toss into the corner so it doesn't cause any trouble. Good for scouting. We found a server room up here, and we've got a nanofab up here. So, overall, there's also a guard in the teleporter room down here. So if he doesn't come out when we let the alarms off, we're gonna have to let him word say talk. We're gonna have to distract him to get past because we don't have any range weapons. At least not yet. We'll see what's in the nanofab in a bit. Fortunately, this place seems to be a bit heavy on the bugs, so we'll have to be careful when hacking. We've still got safe to hack. Let's see, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 things to hack left, and that's going to involve a fair amount of energy, more if I don't hack them before the cost goes up. So we have to play a little bit carefully here. Get some extra energy from these turbos. Got them right here. We've also, it's a room heavy on terminals. I guess server farms come with extra terminals, apparently. So, anyway, let's pick off where, well, I'd say I left off, but I was forced off. So let's go and see. We've also got a key card on some of the characters. However, we've seen all the doors, and we've unlocked the only locked door, so we're just going to stick that in the safe. No. You only do that if there's actually something in the safe to put there. An object on the floor will attract guard attention, which can be useful from time to time, if you want to draw them away from wherever else you're looking. Right. Let's get this camera. Get Decker in this room. And for the most part, we're doing pretty safe, so I think we're going to go ahead and use Rush, because this is an armor point on this card, so we need 1 armor piercing. And her Rush ability lets her, gives her 1 armor piercing, so she'll be able to knock him out.
Heard something.
And no matter what they hear, I have time to close the door before I sneak in behind them and take them down. Alright, so we're pretty good here. We've got free reign over the areas we want. The big problem, however, is that we've got a lot to hack, and we've got a lot of bugs in the way, only some of which we know what they are. We basically can use... Decker's actually made himself mildly useful, because you walk up to them, you can then plug into them like they were a console you were hacking, and figure out what's in there. Fortunately, that boost to Prism is giving me a bit more hacking power, so energy to use. So we'll make use of that because we're going to need to deal with everything here. Now then, we've got a lot of extra movement here on him, and Spot's going to be a bit of trouble, but his cost as a hack isn't really going to go up, so might be better off. I think we're going to go ahead and have far can I put that out? Not too far. Gonna want to keep on top. So I think I'm gonna go and have Decker sit by the exit. And guard the exit while sitting on top of this guard. That's the only guard in our section of the map that we're dealing with for now. It needs to be watched. We've got the one unalerted one down here and the one right behind this door, but he's protected by a shop trap, which can buy me a lot of time. Alright. Okay, Decker, what's in that? Safe. Alright. So all guards get 1 KO resistance. Well, we've only got 1 guard to knock out. And it'll be a while before we want to do that. So that's fine by me. Okay, and as you can see, we tagged this guard earlier, so we know where he's going. But the shock trap ignores armor, so he'll be dealt with for a while long. And we want to get all the saves. So the sooner we get this, the sooner it'll wear off. It does not last forever. 3 turns. So we will have the guard in here to knock out, which could be a bit tricky if he's got the extra armor. We should be set by then. Gotta put the guard down so that we can open the door. Just gonna have this robot go sit. When robots wake up, they do get their vision back before they can move, so it's good to have them sit in the corner where they can't actually see anybody. And we might as well tag the security guard. Actually, that costs energy, and we're a bit short on that this mission, so that might not have been the best idea. Oh well. Just have her see. Let's close this door. So we'll get the guard's body right here. We'll have Decker sit on top of it to keep him unconscious, and then we'll have Russian Prism finish up the rest of the map. Then we'll rush out towards the exit. If we had the extra power, I'd hack this right now, but I'm just short on energy. Because if I could do it, then I'd have it. The good news is we're pretty aware of where the guards are, so we can have the characters rush. God, that's the most beautiful sound in the world. Crack open the door. Put the guard on the side. That being said, these drones are new, so I'm not entirely certain how they function. So I don't know if it'll be able to see me. We don't have that much to do, so I'm going to play it safe. Let's get Decker on top of him. And get behind cover in case that guard decides to get us in. Have her get in front of the door ready to start pouring. Have her peek in so that she can see what's going on once the drone wakes up. Alright. Running somewhat short on energy, we don't know what's in there, so we'll let Rush pick up that slack. Got the power cell to turn off this fence, but that's bugged by, I think, the Goose firewalls, so it's not really worth it. I'd rather run around, especially since, again, we can sprint through. That robot in particular cannot detect sound, so that's not going to be an issue. Alright, let's see. Okay, so the robot... Okay, so the robot can see, I think, but it's still in a unit direction. You just gotta pull scanner to scan it. And we can't move that far. Now we've got Prism to make up for that energy we've been so wanting. Oh, yeah. Give it to me, baby. Okay. We don't need this security card anymore, so let's put it in the safe. Again, you can drop these things on the ground and they'll distract a guard. So I want to see what it is, but I don't think that's going to come up. But if you put them and... No, yeah, just put it in the safe. Actually, might as well. Distraction is better than no distraction. Even if it's not a very good distraction. Alright, and we'll send her off to capture these two as well. We should have had her running. Whoops. Okay. Now we're going to have her making the purchases. Let's get rid of the security card for her too. She's going to be making any purchases from the other location. So we'll send the charge pack. The charge pack can be used to refill a weapon's ammo, and that's the only way to refill a weapon with ammo. But it can also be used to instantly reduce an item's cooldown, so I could use it to fire off 2 shock traps in quick succession. So that guard's woken up again. So we might have to be a little bit careful here. Decker, I'm going to want him to get behind this. Should be in a safer position. Alright, so things are getting a little bit tenuous here. Oh, firewalls are going to go up next turn. So let's get all the hacking done now that we can. Enough up here. Okay, so all the firewalls have gone up. That's a demon that doesn't wear off. But we've also hacked everything we're going to want to hack. Except for that. So... we'll get that, because that'll be helpful and we're out of things to hack. But we'll worry about that next round. Okay. We're all set for me. Not in the best position, but not in a terrible one. I guess it depends on how good that guard is at looking for me. Okay, so he hasn't moved anywhere. He's about to move in there and start looking at the wall. I like him moving there. That's a good place for me. Alright. Jeez, okay. I'll let her keep her stone. Lots of it. And then we'll have her actually access the server. Okay, still no extra stunner, but I think I'll probably pick up, if I have leftover credits, I'll pick up the neural dart. That gives me a ranged attack in case of emergency. I'll give that to Prism. She shouldn't be attacking too often, so it's okay to give her something with ammo. And if she has to run up to somebody to shoot somebody, that's kind of an acceptable cost. Accelerator chip. This lets you get more power from a console. I don't have that much of a problem with power, and this causes enemies to be knocked out for longer. Not a bad item to pick up. More predictive brawling. Ooh, pardon me. More predictive brawling, though. I might pick that up for Decker. We'll see. Depends on what we've got left over. Alright, so we've got a free hack. The firewall only goes off once you actually clear it, so we can use our free hack for the turn and not lose it.
Looking around.
Where is he going next? He's going in there, and it looks like he's heading towards the teleporter room, so this could be a bit of a pain. But he's still nowhere near our agents, so let's go. And this is why you go to the trouble to go to a server farm. Alright. Burst. This one gives me... Oh, that's the one we discussed in this first video. That one's not bad. This one's not really worth it. Gain 5 power plus 1 to all firewalls. This is the end. Huh. This is interesting. But it's a bad match for Prison. Rogue, we've already discussed that one. Use sight range and guard, that's not bad, but it's tricky enough. Got plus 1 armor for 1 turn, that's not terrible. We've already got some armor piercing. Aha! We've got a lockpick. This will make breaking things cheaper. And this will allow us to use Golem to really force our way through, because that also hacks 2 firewall for 4 power instead of 3. So I think we want lockpick, and I think I might want to try out burst. This gives us an alternate source of energy. It lets me have my agents run quickly. So it can definitely be of use, and I want to at least give it a shot. Lockpick is fairly expensive, though. It will let us give time for Golem to cool down, but otherwise it's only saving us 1 energy. We haven't really needed it. This wasn't exactly as good as I was hoping. There's a lot of good stuff here, but I was really hoping for, like, a really basic program. Okay, let me see what we've got at... Oh. Yep, I woke up everything.
The server's been compromised and the site's automatic security measures are coming online. Watch out for new daemons.
It's a relatively harmless one.
Damn it, shopcat. That's no way to treat your customers.
I know! Okay. So the Neural Dart's handy. Predictive Brawling ain't too shabby either. I'm not really a big fan of Stim, to be honest. Plus 4 AP for 1 turn. Every 9 turns. I think I'd kind of rather have the money and the extra slot. So, let's see. If I grab these 2, that's 750. And that would be 1,000 for those 2. So that would leave me with 350. That's not even enough to upgrade an attribute. But if I sell the Stim, it will be. It would be nice to get Decker Predictive Brawling too. Even if I don't have him getting fights and stuff. So that might not be that important. I'm going to make Decker a bit more of a gunner in the back line, so I think I'll skip out on Predictive Brawling. Yeah, this will make lesser hacking cheaper. Yeah, still, I'd actually kind of would have preferred Lockpick version 1. That's 1 firewall for 2 power. Mostly because it just would have been cheaper. I'm spending a lot of money on this. But still, it'll let me benefit from Golem's reduced cost and make it easier for me to... Just make it cheaper for me to hack multiple things in 1 turn with 1 less power for every 2 firewalls I break. So... Yep, lockpick, burst, and then set her to sprint. Apply the stim dose. And now I'm just going to go ahead and sell it. It's not a bad it's not a bad item, but I'm straining on cash and inventory space. So yeah. And it's just too long. There aren't that many chances where you kind of really need the extra 4 AP on that long. So. But I do get to keep the extra energy. Okay, so I think that's every safe. Yep. So this room's got security cameras in it. That's not really a problem, though, as by the time we actually get into that room, we're already going to be crashing it. So we'll use lockpick to break it, so again, Gollum can reduce its cost. Just by through the pulse through. Oh well, we'll brute force through it. This gives us a good burst of energy to yeah, she still won't be able to get that far, and then she'll lose energy the next turn, so we'll use it next turn. We're gonna have her take swap the charge back. Charge back is used to charge the gun, but for the most part I can do that after missions. Better that everyone has some kind of weapon. So, keeps guards confused a little longer, don't think it's going to be an issue, but it's better safe than sorry. And let's save any energy we have to keep this pulse trigger down. Next turn will be a really bad time for the pulse trigger.
Investigating area.
Okay, so where's he going next? Okay, so he's going to come into this room and we're going to have to see him. So we don't want that happening, do we? Okay, so here's the plan. Rush, get ready to tackle him.
What was that? Investigating.
We're gonna have Decker. Actually, the way this works, it might be that he spots Decker while in the doorway, which would cause a problem. Because then it won't get placed for Rush to ambush. So we're gonna actually have to do this. Good news is we can't get her into that room. So we don't actually need to hack the holster. If she could get closer to the door, I could set the trap or something. We're gonna have to set for this trick. These Damon things are in the way. Hard to see. She's ready to tackle. It's the only guard who's alert. We go ahead and I don't know what either of those cameras do. It's best not to. Your soul is mine. Maybe I should have gone for the droid. That was way too close. I think I'm gonna have to take him. Otherwise he's gonna come in here and bother me. I can't have that. And it'd be nice to have one of these cameras. They can't make things any worse. Ouch. Oh, that'd be a problem if it weren't later on in the game. So, let's have him trade Rush a working disruptor. He can get back on her to cover. I'll have her bring him somewhere where the guard won't be able to see him when he pops into the room. We'll have her ready to jump. We'll have Prism sit on the guard just as so she's ready to train. Okay. Fun! Alright, and that's every guard robbed. We can't actually hack that camera. Because that virus. But that's not an issue. We've knocked out all the guards. We've got everything we need. Let's get our burst. Oh, hey, that works on hacked droids, too. All the better to get rid of them. Run away, damn you. Not that it really matters. Everyone, get to the chopper. Yes, now they know where I am, and it raises the trigger level. So that's... Going into cameras is not as bad as you would think. That being said, you really do not want to do it unless you're already winning. However, it looks like it doesn't trigger more than once a turn. I did not know that. So it won't stack increases. Oh, everyone's on the platform? Let's get at it.
Nice work. The more tools we have at our disposal, the better.
Yeah, I like to give this program a try. Should help reduce power strain a little bit. Still, yeah, I would have preferred. Lockpick 2 was not my choice of program. But, yeah, work with what you got. We've got burst for extra energy, to give us a nice... Which is nice. So now we have some source of energy that isn't a panel or actively hacking things. If we get in a spot, we can hang back a little bit, use it to get some extra energy. Alright. Okie doke. So now we're here. Let's leave the charge pack inside. And Prism's inventory is starting to fill up, and I'm going to have her dragging around bodies to cover up, to clean up after everybody else. So I'm going to go ahead and buy her an extra boost. Gives her one more slot and improved drag speed, as you can see down there. Let's see.
Pattern resolution at 50%. Nearing confidence threshold.
Now we're getting somewhere. Where did you find this thing anyway?
Incognita was built back in the 40s by the pan-European government to run climate models. When the war broke out, she was retrofitted to predict troop movements. When we lost the war, I salvaged what I could of her central intelligence unit. We built Invisible together.
Funny. You never strike me as an anthropomorphizing type.
And you've never struck me as particularly charitable, and yet here you are, helping us out.
I guess we all have our weaknesses.
Alright, so the question is, what next? So let's see, we've got, in terms of short closeness, we've got the Financial Suite and Nanofat Vest. That'd be good for buying more weapons, but I'm not that desperate at the moment for credits. Financial Suite is somewhat problematic, as all it does is give me an item to help me with another mission type. So that's only so much use, considering we don't have any of those other mission types up. We'll get more once the day's over, though. The other option would be to go to a detention center.
This is a private corporate prison. They hold high-value targets.
Now, this one's better at detecting spies, whereas these two have better This one's better at detecting us in general. These ones got better hacking. We just got... Our programming, though, just went up, and we handled a rank 3 difficulty one. So I don't think we need to level up in preparation for any of these. Not certain which one we want to go to, though. We could also go here. That's harder, so we get more credits. But here, there's less hours, so it's 66% of the time involved, and then we can still go here. We'd be ready for a future mission for on this card. So I think we'll go here. And I don't know if I want to spend any more credits. I think everyone's kind of doing fine enough as they are. Ironically, it's the people who stay behind that don't engage in combat that need stats the most. Because there really is no combat stats. Speed lets you get into position faster. Anarchy is more about avoiding combat. Hacking is more about avoiding combat. Strength only helps in combat at rank 5, which is really expensive. Otherwise, it's better for cleaning up after combat with strength, with dragging. Since we're low on money and we could still use some more gear, and we're not too much trouble in any particular area, I think we'll settle for here. We'll see what we can get, see if we can't get something good from the nanofiber server farms in the mission. I think we're doing fairly well, except for the fact that this program keeps crashing on me. I think I should have it workable. I think I figured out the problem, so it shouldn't happen again. But I've been kind of getting fed up for it for a while, and the fact that when it runs out of space, it deletes everything rather than saves what I have. Yeah, I'm not terrible for it. But I think we're all set for now. So I'll see you guys next time. Bye.